This is Heidi with Downtown NorCal Live, and today I'm interviewing split screen format on Zoom with Bobby Coyote. He's the renowned owner of Dos Coyotes in Davis and other restaurants throughout the region. And I'm very happy to have you on Downtown NorCal Live, Bobby. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Heidi.
So as of today, you have become what is known as an essential business as folks are sheltering in place. Tell me about what is happening at your restaurants.
Well, at my restaurants and some other restaurants in Philly, for example, Jack's Urban Eats, we're all doing, phone-in orders. We're doing online ordering. Dos has an app, so you can just, download our app at Dos Coyotes on the Apple Store, and I believe the Android store also. And we're doing curbside pickup, which is kind of neat to us. But if people don't want to come in the restaurant, then we'll just bring the food out.
Okay. And so in terms of preference for people coming in, do you prefer that they order in advance?
Well, we definitely would prefer that they use the app or that they go online, because then they can actually just put a credit card in through the computer or through the app, and it's less time, less time spent dealing with somebody else. So it's able to keep that social distancing a lot easier.
It's the no-touch transaction as much as possible.
Exactly.
What about gift cards? A lot of folks are wanting to support small local businesses, and they're suggesting that folks buy gift cards. Is that something that helps you, or is it a neutral or a negative?
Well, the thing with gift cards is that it's at this time in the crisis that we're in, obviously it's great to be able to have that money and be able to use it later on. But in essence, I'm looking out for the safety of my crew, and the less time spent, doing different transactions, the safer I believe everything is. So at this point, I'd rather not really be selling the gift cards. I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of a tough decision to say. I mean, like I said, it'd be great to get the money, but at the same time, I'm looking out for the safety of all my employees.
Thank you for doing that. It is important to remember those essential workers and their health and safety. So what is the best thing we as a community can do to support you to make sure that you're still here after this crisis?
Well, that is a good question, because it's pretty scary. Most restaurants are down, about 65 to 75%, some even more, some are closed up. Definitely, if it's a fine dining or a restaurant that's just, with wait staff. So, everybody in the industry is hurting. It's really sad. It just started out of the blue. All my friends who have restaurants, they kind of noticed the same thing I did Friday night. It was just, a little slower than usual, but not bad. I mean, just, hey, what's going on? It's just not that crazy Friday night that we're all used to. But Saturday, it just hit. And that's when, a lot of the restaurants just really noticed that, hey, where is everybody? So, yeah, it's been kind of a burden on everybody. And we're just hoping to, stay on that surfboard on that 60-foot wave. I mean, mine's, I got 1 foot on it. I tried to have 2 on it, and, 1 minute it's slipping off, and the next minute I get it back on it, the other leg goes off. So,
right.
We're just trying to do what we can. And, we're really, staying open. It's not about making profit. We are not making any money at the moment. We're just trying to keep our crew going, the people that we can, so that when it's time to be able to reopen to full capacity, we've got our key people, and we can just really make a real go of it.
So yesterday you and I were talking, and we talked a little bit about the shelter in place order, and you, I felt, had some really great advice, because when I asked you, what can people do, you felt very strongly people should comply as much as possible. Can you talk about that?
Yes.
To get through quicker.
I still feel the same thing, but since then, we started the mandate here in Yolo County. Sacramento County finally came on board with it. I mean, I've had a manager call me up in Folsom, say, hey, this restaurant, that restaurant, they're seeing people inside. And I had to tell them, look, they're allowed to do it right now. It's just, strongly urged that they just do, the takeout and close the dining room. But, a lot of other restaurants are saying, hey, well, we're doing social distancing and keeping people away, which, it's it's great, but it's not really the safest thing to be doing. So, I just kind of felt like here we are really trying to, do the right thing, and then you got these other restaurants that aren't. So, but now that Sac County has come on board with it, I think by tomorrow you'll just see that hey, everybody's going to have to comply with it. I just think that if it was all possible that the governor, who I'm not dissing or anything like that. I don't want anybody to think that when I say that. I just wish that we would be doing the same thing throughout the whole state, so that the whole state's on board, and this whole craziness that we're going through can end sooner rather than later.
And you actually answered my last question to you, which is, and you can perhaps extend it to other leaders, but any other advice you have or comments on behalf of the small business community to local leaders, state leaders, or elsewhere?
Hey, well, basically all the restaurants, and I'm sure, hospitality, meaning hotels, and I mean, everybody's hurting. So, we just need to make sure that, all these people, are well taken care of, that we can, really put something through the legislators, very quickly, so that we can make sure that, when it's time to rebound, we're all able to, because it's scary. I mean, I'm no better off than anybody else. I mean, we're down, considerably, and we're just trying to stay open. I've got, friends that have restaurants, that call me up, and I mean, they're practically in tears with everything that's going on, and they're trying to take care of their employees, but without people coming in, it's just real difficult, and they're trying to do their best, and, they've got their staff, and, they love what they do, and, everybody, has people that are saying, hey, we'll just work for free, and I just hope that, when we do get through this whole thing, that, our people in the state assembly, state senate, they realize, hey, this business, we're vulnerable, they've been picking our pockets for so long that they don't realize that, we're tipping over, we just don't have the 2 feet to stand on at the moment. If they keep, passing other laws, whether, and it's not, a rant or anything, but, just a lot of different things that they feel that, restaurants and different businesses should be doing. And we're doing our best. But when you keep, picking our pockets, you're putting us at a position where, when you have something like this happen, we can't stand up on our 2 feet, because we don't have 2 feet anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that, it sends a lesson to everybody, but we're all trying to do this in the best way that we can to stay open and keep our employees going. And that's what we're trying to do.
Sorry, my husband's letting the dogs out. We're just finishing up. I just wanted to say I really appreciate the point you're making, that you're not making a profit by staying open, and that your choice to do so is to be in service to the community. And for example, healthcare workers who are working, a lot of overtime at this point, and doing their best, and providing meals for folks who can't cook for themselves, those sorts of things. What a community service. So on behalf of the community, thank you, Bobby, and thank you for being a leader for businesses.
Well, thank you. That's very well appreciated. There are a lot of other people in the industry that deserve the thanks too, whether they're open or closed. But we've got some really, really great restaurateurs in the greater Sacramento, Davis area, and throughout the region, really. And they're just like really, really good people. And I'm just like praying that we all get through this, because it's like something we've never seen before.
I know. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to stop the recording and just sign off with you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us with Bobby Coyote, Dos Coyotes. Your restaurant locations are Marketplace in Davis, in the Oakshade Plaza, and where else?
Well, we have, restaurants that are run by some friends of mine. One's in the Thomas, one's in East Sacramento. We have them in Roseville, Folsom, Elk Grove. We have some closed ones at the moment that are, out in Thunder Valley, which is closing actually tomorrow, I believe. They're open until tomorrow. Then that's shutting. The old casino is shutting down. Then we also have one over at, I just spaced, over at Arden Fair. That just actually, we had to close that down yesterday because the whole mall's shutting down. So, we're kind of locked out there. So
We have one in Citrus Heights too.
Oh, we have, God, how can I forget this? We have one in
guy.
Sunrise Boulevard, right north of Madison's. And that's like one of our newest stores, and it's beautiful. And that's why I'm not thinking of that one. Geez, if I forgot about them, I would never hear the end of this. Never.
I think we are all owed a little forgiveness right now. And thank you so much for bearing with me on this new technology. We're going to hope it works this time. And
all right, I'll keep my fingers crossed.